Hey everybody, Kate from Chrysalis Consulting. I'm going to talk to you today about breathing techniques. This is a freebie, it's really easy, but if you can master this one technique, it's going to put you light years ahead of 98% of the people you deal with on an everyday basis. The key here is the breath. It's said that the person who breathes the slowest wins the room. Think about a stressful meeting that you participated in, and everyone is looking back and forth at everybody else and trying to pay attention, but also has their own agenda and very scattered, a lot of different priorities, a lot of different energies, and how many people are sitting there doing their mindfulness practice, mastering their breath and taking that time to pay attention, to slow down, to go inside, and to really assess things in a non-biased and neutral way. And so if you, as someone who's a participant and a contributor to this reality of your meeting or at the grocery store or in traffic or wherever it may be, if you become the master of your breath, then you are able to become a leader of that situation, because you are not subject to the parasympathetic nervous response of your adrenals, fight or flight, when you experience stress. So I'm going to teach you, this is actually a martial arts technique that comes through my instructor, Brian Broussard, and Naked Ape Martial Arts. But you can use it every day in your everyday life, and you can also use it in your fitness practice and in your mindfulness practice. So here we go. First, come sitting comfortably, tuck tailbone under, make sure your perineum's pointed down towards the earth. Perineum's a little bit of skin that's between the anus and sexual organs. And just ground yourself in your posture. And you can do this actually sitting, standing, sitting on the floor, sitting in a chair, it doesn't matter. But what you want to do is feel this connection to gravity and feel your body as you're sitting there. And it's helpful sometimes to just take a second, rock back and forth, left to right, rock forward and back, and feel this point of center of balance. Your perineum is going to be right at the bottom of that. And you should start to feel how gravity is supporting you, pulling you down, and electromagnetism pushes you back up. And so you've got this sort of dynamic pressure from the bottom. Okay, now let's inhale into the belly. Inhale, let the diaphragm come down and open and expand and soften the belly. And inhale, as you're inhaling, take the shoulders and roll them up, back, and down. And activate the latissimus dorsi, the big muscles in the back, which support the shoulder complex. So take a moment here and breathe and feel this. Belly expands. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and exhale. And let that release up here. We keep a lot of tension and stress right up here. This is where we communicate. This is where we communicate our stress, okay? When you exhale, the diaphragm contracts and comes in, and you want to compress just a little bit at the navel. So here we go with our technique. The key here is to exhale more than you inhale. So through the nose, we're going to sip with little breaths, inhale. And you'll feel the diaphragm start to pump and come up. You're activating the diaphragm. You're strengthening your core as well with this exercise. When you exhale, exhale slowly through the mouth. If you're in a situation where you can't exhale through the mouth because it's going to give a tell, let people know that you're doing something, just exhale through the nose. It's fine. So I want you to think about and take a moment and practice this, exhaling more than you're inhaling. So go with your inhale, pause, and then exhale fully. As you're exhaling, contract the diaphragm and squeeze the navel and empty the lungs completely. You empty the lungs with the diaphragm and the navel, not with the intercostal muscles, all right? We don't want to contract and compress the ribs. That creates tension stress, okay? Inhale through the nose, sip. Just enough that you're going to start to feel this little pressure where the ribs are going to start binding. The ribs are going to start to want to open, and then you have to do extra work to get the lungs to expand more. That's when you need to stop inhaling. Then you exhale slowly through the nose or the mouth. Inhale. Don't be greedy. Pause, exhale slowly. Pause at the end of your exhalation. You're fortifying your system. You're strengthening your parasympathetic nervous system. You're getting control over your stress response, over your adrenal response. Inhale. Pause. Exhale slowly. Contract here. Soften here. Pause. Inhale. Retain. Soften. Soften up here. Exhale. Contract here. Pause. Fortify. Strengthen. Inhale again. Hold it. Circulate. Exhale. Contract here. Strengthen the core. Okay, the core is not just abs. The core is about the diaphragm and the pelvic floor, which supports all of your organs. Okay, it's not just about. So the difference between an internal art and a martial art or a fitness program that is about the physical appearance of body, is that an internal art is going to focus on what's happening with your organs, what's happening with your nervous system, what's happening with your adrenals, what's happening inside. You have all these muscles that support the larger muscles, right? For example, like in your hip flexors, you have all these tiny little muscles that are underneath. Inside here, they support the tendons, which support the larger muscle bellies. When an externally focused fitness program, one that's focused on, am I sexy? Do I look good? Do I look strong? Those things focus on, how big are my quads? How much of a fat percentage do I have? All of those things, are important. However, if you don't go inside and focus on the internal structures, the diaphragm, the pelvic floor, what's happening with your hips, where your hips are positioned, how's your posture, how's your breathing, how does your breathing relate to your fitness practice? Eventually what's going to happen is you're going to experience a lot of fatigue, and you're not building towards longevity. You're not building towards the long-term sustainability of the program that you're doing. I'm not suggesting that you give up spin class, weightlifting, whatever it may be, but I do suggest that you start examining what's the internal practice component of all the different things that you're doing and that you're interested in. And if you can start on this path and start mastering this, it's going to inform every other aspect of your life. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave your feedback in the comments. Test it out for a day or two. Get back to me. Let me know how it worked for you. And if you're in the Austin area, we do classes here at Sarasana. It's a beautiful studio. I'll show you. Maybe. Okay. Let me show you. So this is where we teach. Okay. You're lucky because no one came to class today, so we got to have class on the internet. And I also teach over Skype, and you can find my website in the comments. So message me. Hope it helps. Sat Nam.